Hey, hello my little acorn crop. Today's video is going to be a story time, and I particularly like story time videos. I just like to hear about stuff in people's lives, and it's pretty cool to hear them on YouTube because that means I didn't actually have to fucking interact with anyone to get the story, right? So, please indulge me while I tell you the story. And please forgive me because I'm parched. So, this story takes place about 2 years ago, and this was my Hearse's first trip out to HearseCon. Now, I live in the Phoenix-ish area, and the HearseCon that I go to, named HearseCon, is in the Denver-ish area. So, it's a 12 to 16 hour drive. I usually break it up into 2 8-hour days. You know, I don't really push it because, hey, this is my vacation. I'm just having fun. So, the last 2 years I've gone to HearseCon, I have contracted some horrible plague and felt like shit. So, that year I felt like crap. I had caught some kind of stomach bug or something, and I just felt nauseated and just awful. And I did have a friend come with me, so that was, a nice precaution. So my friend and I had completed the first leg of the trip from Phoenix-ish to Albuquerque, and we had stayed overnight with a friend of mine who lives in Albuquerque. And so we're starting out in the morning. We're going from Albuquerque to Santa Fe, and halfway in between we get a tire issue. The tread's coming off the tire. So we stop and change it and put on the spare, which there's two problems with the spare. Number one, it's one of the small spares that comes with the car. Your average car has this teeny little spare that's supposed to get you like 50 miles or whatever. And dumbass me didn't check it to make sure it was holding air. So we put the spare on and nothing. Just goes flat as soon as we lower the car back down. So I have AAA. I call a tow truck. Tow truck comes out, starts pulling the hearse onto it. It's a flatbed. You have to have a flatbed. But the incline of the flatbed is too steep to get the hearse up there without like dragging the back end of it and tearing off my bumper. So the tow truck guy just says, well, too bad, so sad. We'll, catch you around. I'm not even kidding about that. He was just like, I really can't help you. I can't get this, your vehicle up on the tow truck, so I'm just going to have to cancel out your order. So, as you can imagine, I'm pretty freaked out at this point. What am I going to do? So, I call my friend begging and pleading to have him come from work to all I need is a tire. All I need to do is take the tire I have in and get it stripped and put, a new tire on. Just get on the rim. That's all I gotta do. So, I beg him. I'm like, do you know anyone? And this is probably the mistake, but so he sends somebody out from his grove. And for those of you who may not know, a grove is kind of like a church. So basically somebody he knew from church. Only it's a much closer knit group. Comes out, this guy stops, takes me in the tire, we get in his car, and, on the way there, we're having a pleasant conversation. He's trying to learn bagpipes, and I was playing bagpipes, and we were kind of same church-ish, and, fairly pleasant conversation. And we get in, and get into Santa Fe, and he asks me if I want to eat. And, I tell him, quite honestly, I'm not hungry. Not at all. So we go to the tire place. It's going to be an hour. So then we go and we sit out front of the tire place waiting. And he notices my industrial. And he says something about how his niece or whoever has one. And then he begins to elaborate on people who have a lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos, which I may not have a whole ton of piercings. I mean, pretty much just my ears, but I do have a lot of tattoos. And he starts saying how people with a lot of piercings and a lot of tattoos, they inflict that kind of pain on themselves. What would they do to someone else? And it's almost like he's implying that tattooed and pierced people are somehow serial killers or something. So I'm becoming more and more uncomfortable with this situation because, I have a lot of tattoos, and I have to then ride with this person who obviously disagrees with the things I've done to my body back to my car. So I'm really totally at this guy's mercy because also my phone died somewhere along the way. So, even if I wanted to call my friend to tell him what was up, he couldn't do anything. So I couldn't call anybody. And so I had to kind of weather this guy talking, about how, and on a normal situation, I probably would have tried to talk him down and just say, that's just their story. It's, this decoration. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It doesn't mean they want to kill you or hurt you in any way. But because I was at this guy's mercy, I didn't want to have that conversation with him because what am I going to do if he gets pissed off and leaves me there? Then I'm fucked. So I, kind of get real quiet and just try to maintain pleasant conversation, get in his car. And he had mentioned on the way out there that he worked or helped out at a car wash. So on the way back, in the middle of this whole situation, and I'm sure it was perfectly fine, normal for him, but for me, I'm starting to freak out a little bit. He's like, I'm gonna get a car wash. And it's like, dude, you're driving a shit neon. And the first thing I notice is you're driving a shit neon. One of the rear view mirrors is hanging off the side, and you want to get a car wash? So we go to this car wash, and it's not your normal car wash. Oh no, this one had like this thing with water jets that went around the car. It was stationary, and it just went around the car and washed it. It's supposed to be really state of the art or whatever. And so I'm stuck with this guy in this car, and I swear the car wash took 20 minutes. It probably took like maybe 10. I don't know. But I'm stuck in the car with this guy, and I'm beginning to think that I'm going to have to knife him with my pocket knife and take his car to get back to my car so I can continue on to HearseCon. And it's funny now, but it was really just horribly disconcerting at that point. So, in the end, we do get back to my car. The tire holds air. We put the tire back on. Me and my friend get in and head back on to Denver. While we were in Denver, we bought another rim to become the spare tire. But this, that was my story that I wanted to share. It was really disconcerting, and I guess a lot of people think that of people with tattoos and stuff. I don't know. So, let me know if you have thoughts of people with tattoos and piercings being serial killers or murderers or masochists of some kind. I don't know. Maybe we are masochists of some kind. Anyway, good night, America, wherever you are. Hello, my little acorn crop. That was awful. I'm like, okay. Anyway.